Hello and welcome. Welcome, friends, and welcome, family. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my home and my sacred space. I prepared this here for us today to do our pick a card. I am shuffling our Krans Wild Unknown Archetype deck for the thought of the day. It always brings a nice, deeper meaning to the daily pick a card. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck at this point, and I'll choose the card from the bottom, and that will be our card for the day. Whoops, we got two. That's Agape. That's one of my favorites because this is about true love. Agape. Agape is, well, okay. In all fairness, it's the love of God that God has for us, and the love that we have for one another. Because the love that we have for one another is the same as God's love for us. The love that we have for ourselves is the same as God's love for us. All love comes from God. And that's what it's all about. Through every single major religion, there is a law or a commandment or a lesson, and it's usually the one they say, what's the most important? I'll do a whole, you know what? I'm going to do a whole video on that. But right now, if you are Christian, I want you to look up John 13:34. Not right now, not right this second, but that's pretty much what agape means when Jesus says, from this shall men know ye are my disciples, if you have loved one to another as I have loved you. He says this is a new commandment. He says, I'm giving you a new commandment, and he says love one another. So anyway, okay, so we can go on about that. We're not going to read in the book because that's what agape is, and we are going to go ahead and check out your card toppers. First, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Go ahead and check them out from here. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm really glad to be here today. It's been rough for me the past couple of days, and I really haven't been focused outward much, and it's nice to be back. Our first card topper is, what is this called? You remember, Flourite. That's what it's called, and it's got a lot of beautiful different colors. It's got the green here, and it's got the purple here on this side. And that is the card topper on the first card. On the second card, we have this lovely little turquoise. I'm trying to get a good focus on it, and that's not going to happen. It looks really beautiful from the bottom. That's and here we have our selenite, which the way the light refracts is just, it's almost like glowing, like agape. And then we have the tiger eye. So yeah, if you're searching for your one true love, guess who that is? God. Guess who else it is? You. Guess who else it is? Your mom, your dad. Guess what? It's about all of us. It's about loving one another. Okay. Let's go ahead and see. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video so that you can take time to pick your card topper or card that you want for today. You can pause that now. Otherwise, I'm going to move on, and we'll look and see what's under the Flourite. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Da, da, da. This is a great card to have because basically it says, shoot, it's happening for you, man. Fate, it's written in the stars. It's written in the book. This is what's supposed to happen for you. And it's lucky. It's auspicious. It's good. It's like, it's almost like good karma, but it's not quite necessarily all about karma. It's about what you're meant to do, your calling, how sometimes we don't even know what our calling is, but we're doing it. It just comes forth, and there we are. Next thing we know, bam, that's what we're doing. Coupled with your agape card, I would just say that, when we're talking about fate, we are talking about our main calling, our I don't know what else you would call it, but our purpose, our life's purpose. You don't have to believe in God to have a life purpose. Those of us who do feel like we might call it our highest calling, as if God is calling us to do this. We've actually called ourselves as well to do this. Now I'm sounding crazy talk. All right, so that's a good card. Buy a lottery ticket, but that's not really what it's about. But if you do like to play the lottery, today would be a good day to play. However, I think this is about something more than that. I think it's more about deeds and actions. I'll leave it at that. Let's see what's under the turquoise. You have the Hermit again. I know I'm saying that again, and maybe this is your first time here. However, I have seen this card come out quite a lot lately, and yes, I really do like. As I'm doing this, I am thinking about you guys, my subscribers, people in my life, and I do have a message about the Hermit, and one of those things is it's really important, very important when you're hermiting to remember your spiritual self and your spiritual side and feed your spiritual self. A lot of times that's what a hermit is doing to begin with, separating himself from society so that he can be not of the world. Now, the thing about it is it does get lonely, and it can become almost like a self-imprisonment. So you got to be real careful with that. Make sure you bring yourself out at least long enough to show others the love that you have for them, the love that you have for God. Oh, this could also be a period of training for you. Oftentimes, this card has to do with learning something new. Maybe it's often, sometimes I really think of sometimes learning like spiritual things, or learning things about the occult, or learning things about like non-traditional learning, wild crafting herbs, things like that when I see the Hermit. So this might be a period of training for you, and it might be a period of you figuring out how to learn to love yourself. It's very important that we all learn to do that. It's so important. Let's see what's under the selenite. I hope I'm not sounding too preachy. Sometimes, well, anyway. You have Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. There he is standing there, or she. This card really can be definitely male or female. It's all about the energies. It's not necessarily about what their actual physical sex is. So I want to be inclusive with everybody, and I need to remember to do that more often. But here, what does your card mean today? It means that you're embarking on some new idea or project. You're learning something new. It could be about money, but I really think that with Agape here, again, we're talking about what is our next highest calling? What are we supposed to be doing with our life here? How are we learning to love ourselves? How are we showing love to others? And this project could be an art project. This could be talking about, it's definitely something of you that you can give the world. And by giving the world, I mean showing the world. It could be something that you sell. It doesn't have to be completely idealistic with no money, because this is a Pentacles card, which is about money. And when we're loving ourselves and we're loving our higher power, then we know that we deserve to make enough money to live on, and we deserve to make enough money to have money to give. We deserve those things. Everyone does. Everyone deserves simple humanitarian rights. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as it was written. Yeah, a lot of times when you get this card, it is about like figuring out how, having a new investment or something like that. But in this case, I really do think it has more to do with what is it that you're putting out into the world? Putting something out into the world. So let's see what we have. Last but not least. Ooh, look at that. So this to me looks so much like a night terror. Now, here's what a night terror is. A night terror is different than a nightmare. A night terror is more like it's a PTSD thing. And it's something that I've struggled with a lot of my life. And that is, you might wake up from your nightmare or your dream, but you're still feeling it, still seeing it, still acting it out, even. This card can also talk about anxiety. This is just really some hard stuff because it's with anxiety, they say that we have control over it and we have all these little exercises. We can even get them off of Facebook. Breathing exercises, counting exercises, things to help us soothe our anxiety and get rid of it. And yet when we're in it, we feel out of control. We feel like we can't control it. Like when I'm in a night terror, it's not something I feel like I have control over. So in getting this card, I don't want you to think that I'm just going to preach at you and say this is what you need to do and this is what you need to do, because honestly, I don't know what you need to do. Coupled with Agape, I would say that my anxiety certainly improved with my spiritual practice, or my anxiety got lesser as my spiritual practice grew. I do include meditation in my spiritual practice, but again, I don't want to sound preachy to you. But if it is something that is affecting your life, it is something that's worth taking the time to do something about it. And that could be many things. Like I said, there's lots of books, YouTube videos, and therapists that can help with anxiety, night terrors, nightmares, the things that we feel are out of control. They do say that we are in control of these things, and there is something that we can do about it. And I do believe that. I do believe we can do some things about it. If it is something that is crippling your life, it is something to go ahead and take the time and energy and the money, whatever it's going to take, to go ahead and work on that. But I will say that improving your spiritual life might very well be a big help in this. So now we've come to the end, and I hope you found this to be just what you needed. Please do take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Don't make life-altering decisions or changes based on any pick a card, not even mine. Do connect with me on my other social media platforms. I will put Kim Krans' information in the description of my video if you want to go check out some more of her art. That would be a fun thing to do. Also, I do not, these pick-a cards, it's not going to take the place of psychiatric help, medical, there's lots of disclaimers here. But I will tell you, I know you're ready for this video to end, but I will tell you that we're just as good as weathermen at getting things accurate. Sometimes better. You guys, see you next time.